Hello and how's it going, everyone? It is Skullzi here with the latest Bethesda news, rumors, and speculation, and with E3 2021 right around the corner in like less than a couple weeks, I decided now is a good time to revisit my updated speculation and expectations on what I expect from Bethesda at E3 2021, and no doubt I'm going to be talking about all the different Bethesda Softworks studios, not just Bethesda Game Studios. I'll be talking about everything from Bethesda Game Studios to Arcane to Tango, and you get the point by now. And I am talking specifically about this Microsoft and Bethesda Xbox E3 2021 showcase. There obviously will probably be other stuff apart from this specific showcase and stuff at Summer Games Fest and things just throughout the summer as well, because the summer is always a very good time for gaming news and announcements and reveals. And we will also have the Game Awards this December as well, and just a lot of other opportunities for more information on all these Bethesda games. But I'm specifically talking about what I expect to see from the Bethesda portion of the Microsoft and Bethesda E3 showcase. Microsoft recently announced the date and time for this showcase, along with a Halo and a official Starfield teaser, which was pretty hype. And this showcase will be taking place on June 13th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time, and 6 p.m. Bastard time. And this is super hype, and the Bethesda showcase will probably be at the end of the Microsoft showcase. It will be part of the entire Microsoft showcase, but the Bethesda portion will have its own like subsection of the entire Microsoft showcase. It will probably begin with Microsoft and then transition into Bethesda and then carry on from there. So what I'm talking about today will be part of this showcase, and all of my estimations and I guess educated guesses, or whatever you want to call them, are based on like actual announcements that have been going on over the last couple of years, a lot of rumors, a lot of inside statements. So this is a lot of years of information and statements and stuff all wrapped up into one video, so I'm going to try to be as quick and concise as I could. So if I go through some stuff kind of quick, it's because I'm only mentioning the most important and confirmed stuff for the most part. I'm going to be trying to step away from all those old school 4chan fake leaks and stuff like Mama used to make. I'll be focusing on confirmed information in this video, and I'll try to be as accurate as I can about what you should expect to see from Bethesda at E3 this year. Like I said, this is my opinion based on a lot of confirmed stuff and just, I guess, some speculation as well. So let's not waste any more time and get to today's information. And we're going to begin with Zenimax Online Studios. Yes, I know everyone wants me to talk about what I expect from Starfield and Bethesda Game Studios. I promise we will get to that. But I do want to start with Zenimax Online Studios because there is a very particular interesting situation with ZOS, and ironically enough, it does possibly have to do with Starfield as well, because over the last couple of years or so, there have been a lot of job postings from Zenimax Online Studios in regards to their MMORPG, which is a new IP. This new MMORPG is a new game that they've been talking about for some time. They have confirmed it is in development and has been in development for some time, but they're not really giving us any more information about it, except there have been a lot of rumors about this game. Some rumors even suggested it could be a superhero game, which I kind of low-key doubt, but I guess is possible. However, there have been job postings, particularly from ZOS, in regards to this actual new game that confirms that the game will have vehicles, and vehicles will be such a big part of the game that even NPCs will use vehicles as well. So maybe the game takes place during like modern times or cyberpunk or something where there's cars, or what I think is it's an actual Starfield standalone MMORPG. I have an actual reason for this. If you look at all the previous Zenimax Online Studios games and development patterns, they basically make a game that's the multiplayer version of a single-player Bethesda Game Studios franchise. I mean, they've made The Elder Scrolls Online, which is the multiplayer version of The Elder Scrolls, and they've also worked on Fallout 76. Even though Bethesda Game Studios Austin is the studio behind Fallout 76, ZOS did assist low-key with that game's development project as well. So with their previous patterns in mind, like I said, they pretty much make the multiplayer version of a single-player Bethesda franchise, and we know Starfield is the next franchise from Bethesda. The Zenimax Online Studios' next MMORPG is supposed to be a new game not related to The Elder Scrolls or any of their other projects, which is basically The Elder Scrolls Online, so it could be a Starfield MMO. And there's even more evidence to back this up. A Zenimax Online Studio concept artist has a lot of space art over on his official ArtStation portfolio, and that could signify that maybe he's doing concept art for this new Zenimax Online Studio Starfield MMORPG, because I doubt that there would be a separate sci-fi space game from Zenimax Online Studios and then Starfield. It would make no sense for them to have like two space games coming out near one another that aren't like related to one another at all, because then they'll kind of compete low-key, even though one is multiplayer and one single player. So basically what I expect this game to be is a Starfield MMO, and and if we do get more information on Starfield this E3, which we most certainly will, it would be a perfect opportunity to also announce the Starfield Mmo from Zenimax Online Studios. And I know the community might worry, but don't worry, because if Zenimax Online Studios is making this Starfield Mmo, it's a completely separate project, a completely separate studio, and totally different developers from the Bethesda Game Studios office making Starfield. So don't worry if that's the case, but I kind of estimate we might get some sort of announcement on this new ZOS MMO, no matter what it is. And on top of that, the Elder Scrolls Online new Oblivion Blackwood chapter is coming out in June as well, so we will probably get some new stuff related to that from Zenimax Online Studios also. So that's what you can expect from ZOS at E3 2021. Remember, this conference, this showcase, is going to be 90 minutes, and that contains the Microsoft and Xbox portion, so that's a lot of different studios to shove in 90 minutes, so we may get a lot of trailers here, not as much gameplay as we would like. So with that in mind, I'm expecting mostly just trailers from Zenimax Online Studios in particular, based on everything that I just said we would most likely see from them at E3 this year. Next up, I want to talk about id Software, and a lot of people don't know this, but there's actual 2 id Software studio locations, one in Dallas and one in Frankfurt, Germany, and I believe the Dallas location may be working on a Quake reboot, and maybe even a single-player Quake reboot that will no doubt still have a multiplayer element to it, because Quake has a very competitive multiplayer element, no doubt. There is a lot of rumors going on that there may be a Quake reboot in development, but who knows? Nonetheless, Rage 3 is also an option, and further Doom Eternal content as well, because I believe there's going to be at least one more single-player expansion or DLC or whatever for the Doom Eternal story, and Doom Eternal may even get more than that. It feels like Doom Eternal could have a longer lifespan than the previous Doom 2016 title from id Software, just because of the great love and attention and overall reception Doom Eternal has. But no doubt, Doom is definitely going to be a main focus from id Software's Dallas location, and even if Doom Eternal isn't going to have any more single-player updates or multiplayer updates, they probably no doubt would work on whatever the sequel to Doom Eternal would be. Basically, I expect there to be more Doom content from id Software at E3 this year, and maybe even some Quake content as well, just based upon some random rumors I've heard. And on top of that, the Frankfurt location from id Software is also working on some sort of new major upgrade, some new major next-gen engine, or I don't know, current-gen engine, whatever you want to call it. It's a new engine for Doom and for future id Software projects. So normally when they're making a new engine, normally when a developer or a studio is making a new engine, they're making it specifically for a new game. This isn't always the case, but it kind of doesn't make that much sense to make a new engine without a game in mind. So with that in mind, this could be even more evidence that a new Quake reboot is in development, or maybe even a Doom Eternal sequel. No doubt, it is confirmed that the id Software Frankfurt location is working on a new engine. So with all this in mind, I still expect us to get some kind of maybe Doom Eternal stuff at E3 this year, or maybe a Quake reboot announcement reveal trailer or something. Nonetheless, I don't expect us to get too much id Software stuff at E3 this year. So let's move on to the next thing I want to talk about in today's video. And now we're going to be talking about Arcane. And Deathloop is the next major game from Arcane. It has been delayed a couple times now. It's set to be released on September 14th this year, so it no doubt will have a major presence at E3. And I expect us to get another big gameplay showcase from Bethesda for Deathloop at E3 this year, and possibly even the biggest gameplay showcase from Bethesda at E3 this year. And on top of that, I expect us to maybe also get some more actual gameplay stuff for the multiplayer dynamics and the multiplayer element of Deathloop as well, because Deathloop is a very interesting game and has a very interesting setting, a very interesting dynamic, and I think it's kind of slept on a bit, unfortunately, but I believe they're going to give it a lot of love and a lot of attention at E3 this year, and Deathloop will be the major thing for Bethesda this year, along with Starfield, which I will get into here in a second. But on top of this, there is also a rumor that Arcane Austin is working on a new fantasy IP, and there's been a lot of people hoping that this might be a Arx Fatalis game or a Arx Fatalis reboot, which is a kind of like an Elder Scrolls, similar to an Elder Scrolls fantasy franchise from Arcane's past. However, I don't know if that's the case, because there's a lot of credible rumors going on that this is actually going to be a game called Omen that has to do with vampires somehow. I don't know if you are a vampire and if this is a vampire fantasy RPG, or if you're a vampire hunter or something, but there's a lot of rumors suggesting that we might also get a vampire game named Omen from Arcane. So with all that in mind, I expect a major Deathloop presence and showcase at E3 this year, and probably the biggest overall content amount from any Bethesda Softworks title. But on top of that, I expect us to also get some kind of small reveal trailer for this Omen game or this Arcane fantasy game as well. Next up, Machine Games, and yes, we do know Machine Games is is working on an Indiana Jones collaboration with Lucasfilm Games and Todd Howard as the director, but on top of that, I don't expect us to actually get this game for some time. I expect this Indiana Jones game to maybe not come out for like a couple years or so. It's kind of hard to say because we only got a small reveal trailer, but I do expect us to maybe hear more about the Indiana Jones game this year, and depending on what we get about this Indiana Jones game this year will kind of signify when we should expect the game to come out. If we just get another small trailer without that much like gameplay, it probably will be a long time, but if we do get like a 10-minute gameplay sequence, then the game may be the next project from Machine Games. However, I have heard that Wolfenstein 3 is in some form of development. I don't know if it's early development, I don't know if it's in the main phase of development, and Wolfenstein 3 is actually the next game from Machine Games. However, if Wolfenstein 3 is in development, we may get a small teaser trailer from Machine Games at E3 this year as well. After all, Pete Hines a while ago did confirm Wolfenstein 3 was in the actual plans for Machine Games. He just didn't say when it was actually coming. There's a lot of other rumors that maybe another project is also in development from Machine Games as well. Who knows what that could be, but I'm trying to stick to more confirmed stuff in today's video. So basically, the sum of what I expect from Machine Games this year is maybe a Wolfenstein 3 teaser, or maybe some more Indiana Jones stuff as well. It's going to be one of those two things. But let's move on to the next thing I want to talk about in today's video, which is Tango Gameworks, and no doubt we will get some more information, some more love for Ghostwire Tokyo this year as well, because that is the next major game from Tango Gameworks, and it will have a major presence at E3 2021 because it is set for an October of 2021 release, and it might have as much of a presence at E3 this year as Deathloop because it is the next most recent major announcement, major I guess release, not announcement, from Bethesda this year as well. And also after that, there is supposedly a new game, a new IP from Shinji Mikami, his original IP, his creation, and there is actual job postings for a new IP from Tango as well. So that's pretty interesting. We might get some kind of new IP from Shinji Mikami as well. However, I do know a lot of people want The Evil Within 3, and I don't know, I've heard mixed things about Evil Within 3. A lot of people want it, however, I've heard it might not be coming for a while. I heard it might be coming soon. However, if we don't get an Evil Within 3 trailer at E3 this year, then we probably won't get an Evil Within 3 for some time. If we do get a teaser, that would be hype. But you gotta remember, there's probably going to be a lot of attention on Ghostwire Tokyo from Tango Gameworks at E3 this year, so we may get kind of like a focus on that and maybe nothing else. But who knows, we might get a teaser trailer at E3 from The Evil Within 3. Like I said, if we do, if we don't, that kind of will signify the future of The Evil Within and when we should expect a sequel. Now I want to talk about Bethesda Game Studios, and we're going to talk with Bethesda Game Studios Austin. And Fallout 76 is supposed to have a lot of stuff this summer, a lot of updates, a lot of added content, and according to Bethesda Game Studios Austin, players are supposed to be very excited for what's to come this summer, because not only are they going to be adding a lot of improvements and stuff to the game, they're also going to be finishing up or expanding the Brothers of Steel storyline, which was introduced in the Fallout 76 Steel Dawn expansion with the Steel Rain expansion now, and there's going to be a bunch of new quests, new locations, new NPCs, new awards, and it's just amazing to see how much attention, how much love, and how much continued content BGS Austin has given Fallout 76 over the years, especially considering the rocky launch and stuff. Some developers may have abandoned the game or like not have went all out with it as BGS has done. It's just great to see how much love and attention Bethesda Game Studios Austin has given this game over the years, and still just as much now, and that's why the community is just as amazing. And from Bethesda Game Studios Montreal, they're kind of the wild card here. They're kind of the studio a lot of people forget about. However, there is supposedly a new game from both Bethesda Game Studios Montreal and Arcane, some kind of collaboration between the two that is some sort of multiplayer game. And this is not confirmed, but this has been a rumor going on for at least like 2 or 3 years now. So I expect there to be some kind of validity and truth to this rumor, and if I had to give you my guess on this, I expect it to be whatever the Spy Team, Zenimax, and Bethesda game trademark is, because this trademark was filed years ago and we have no announcement to it. However, Bethesda has been refiling the trademark, so there is obvious plans for this Spy Team project. And you gotta remember, Bethesda Game Studios Austin used to be Battlecry Studios, I believe, and they were making a game called Battlecry, which was a hero multiplayer shooter game. I believe maybe like Overwatch or something. And if you think of the name Spy Team, that kind of sounds like what would be a hero arena or online shooter type game or something, maybe with multiplayer multiplayer espionage-based elements, I don't know. But if I had to make a guess on whatever this new project from Arcane or in Montreal would be, I would expect it to be something like Spy Team, something like Battlecry, but something different and unique. But like I said, those rumors aren't actually confirmed. What is confirmed though is we will get more stuff for Starfield from Bethesda Game Studios this year, because even Xbox themselves put the freaking Starfield planet, the same planet from the trailer, in this recent tease over on Twitter, over on all the other social medias. So it's definitely confirmed Starfield will have a 100% presence at E3 this year, and a lot of people and myself are wanting a huge showcase. However, a lot of the inside information pinpoints that Starfield may not come out until 2022. So if we only get another Starfield trailer this year, which is very likely considering it's only a 90-minute showcase for all the Microsoft studios, for all the Bethesda studios, and Deathloop and Ghostwire are probably likely to have the biggest presences at E3 this year. With that in mind, if we do get a small Starfield teaser trailer or just another trailer without like a big gameplay showcase, then I expect the game to not come out until November of 2022. However, if we still get like a 10 to 15 to maybe even 20-minute showcase of Starfield, maybe the game will come out in March of 2022. That's kind of gonna be the signifier here of when we should expect Starfield to come out. But nonetheless, don't worry, Starfield will be at E3 this year. I'm willing to bet all my septums and all my skooma on it. So the TL Doctor of what you should expect from Bethesda Game Studios at E3 2021 this year, some more Fallout 76 love, definite Starfield stuff, 100%. Maybe we'll get some more stuff for Fallout Shelter because that game still has an active player base, or the Elder Scrolls Blades because, like, where's the PC port for that? Where's the VR and all the other stuff Bethesda promised that never happened, that they just kind of stopped talking about? So we have a lot of stuff we might get from Bethesda outside of Starfield and Fallout 76, but you can definitely bet all your skooma we will see Starfield and Fallout 76 stuff. And now I want to finish up today's video with a couple other Bethesda Softworks studios, some that people keep forgetting about because they've been kind of either not talked about or marketed much or quiet for a while now. And the first one is Alpha Dog Games, which is a Bethesda mobile studio. They basically only make mobile games, but their mobile games are pretty quality and do have some pretty solid player bases. Even though I don't play them, I don't really play mobile games. However, a new project, some kind of new major project, has been teased for Alpha Dog Games, and I'm sure we might hear about that at E3 this year as well. If we don't, it probably won't be out for a while, but if we do get some kind of trailer from Bethesda at E3 this year, then it probably will be released later on this year, and maybe it might be Giant Monster News, because like the Spy Team trademark, Giant Monster News is a Bethesda game trademark that has been filed for a long time now that we don't know what it is. And if you think about the name Giant Monster News, it sounds like it would most likely be a mobile game title, but who knows? That's just my estimation based on what I expect from Alpha Dog Games. And lastly, there's Roundhouse Studios, who has been quiet for like ever now. I've heard that Roundhouse Studios has primarily been a support studio for all the different Bethesda Softworks studios, from Bethesda Game Studios to Arcane to id Software, all the different studios. However, there is also rumors that they might be working on something as well. However, these are just rumors. It's been very secretive. There's supposedly some very secretive new IP from Roundhouse as well, which I actually would love to see, given how Roundhouse was kind of screwed, I guess, more or less, before they were acquired by Bethesda. That's kind of like a whole dramatic situation to get into that involves like trademark stuff, copyright stuff, court filings, lawsuits, a whole bunch of crap. But there's a lot of rumors that we should expect something from Roundhouse Studios at some point soon, because they are working on some kind of new project. However, like I said, I've heard Roundhouse is primarily a support studio for all the different Bethesda projects. That's basically everything. Like I said, I wanted to go through everything as quickly as I could, even though there was a lot to go through here. And I did get my vaccine recently, so I do feel kind of lethargic and under the weather. I might turn into a werewolf accidentally during recording of this and come back covered in cheese and blood and skooma. It's a weird situation, but that basically finishes up everything I want to talk about in today's video. As always, if you're hyped for Starfield, if you're hyped for Bethesda, if you're hyped for E3, or if you just basically enjoy the content, be sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn notifications on. And as always, huge shout out and much appreciation to the following amazing people for going above and beyond to support the channel and bring you content like this. You guys are amazing. I've been getting a lot of support over the last couple of days, so I am updating this list now. Even if I get a lot more people supporting the channel now, I have to update this list right now. But now is your last chance to get added to this list by supporting the channel now. Before I update the list again, I normally update this list every month or so. I am updating it today, 100%, I promise. So if you want to get added to this list, you can support the channel over on Ko-fi, Patreon, or here on YouTube as an exclusive channel member. Links for all this and more are down in the description below, and as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next time when the hype for E3 2021 is assuming direct Spy Team Giant Monster News. Control Omen D1 vampire time. Where am I going with this? This was a total failure. I rolled a D1 and shoved it up my ass.
It just works.